Okay, so you can see I've made some progress since the last time, since yesterday. You can see I've added on some little bits of, wow, that's kind of crooked, strapping, I guess I would kind of call it. It's to make this appear more like an antique padlock instead of a padlock that, or a locking mechanism like you could buy. I'm thinking of those. I can't think of the ones that make the I can't think of the name right now. I know what the locks look like, and they're really ugly. Anyway, I wanted to add this on because it does look a little bit better. And you can see I've pulled off the protective bit of masking tape to the inside. And I came in and have painted, this is like the first layer of the black paint. Now the reason I did that is because the sanding is completely over with. I'm not going to be using spackle. There's no chance of getting anything on the eye. And if I do get something on the eye, I can very easily wipe it off. So this one, I had glued these on yesterday and then gave them a quick coat. I went over with some sealant, some Mod Podge, just to make sure that the carton board was sealed. And I basically, all I did was I think these were from a pizza box. You can see I kind of scuffed them up a little bit, took some of the shiny bit off, and cut them into 4mm strips, and then just glued them down. Now, why did I choose this particular box and not say, why didn't I choose something that was like white? Because yesterday, I had, these were unicorn snacks. I had to get these, I'm sorry. I had this cardboard. This is from packaging, but it wasn't as flexible as I needed it to be. It didn't bend as well. This was chosen because of its ability to bend and not crack. Sometimes when you're using cardboard, like, well, if I was bending it this way, it depends on convex or concave. You can see the little cracks beginning to form, those little, but when I went this way, you can see it was very nice and did what I wanted it to do. So that's what I did. And then with these, I basically just lined it up, used a pencil, made the mark, and then just cut it with a pair of scissors. So it wasn't, terribly difficult to do it. A little time consuming. It took the better part of an afternoon, but I was forcing myself to go very slowly with the measurements and the cutting of these strips because I didn't want them to be out of whack. I hid the seams at the back. Like, this seam's a really good one. This one came together really nicely. This one, not so great. The seams on this one are almost perfect, almost imperceptible. The seams are going to be at the tops of each of these. So what I'm doing today is I'm going to put that one away. I'm going to show you, let's see, which paintbrush do I have here? I've got one of my, these are, I enjoy making these. These are, these will be used for fabric. I buy like inexpensive, like dollar store bolts, like a fat quarter, and then just use it as my paint rag. I wipe things off on it, wipe stuff up. You can see here, I liked how some of this came out. This was from the lace from the little kitties I made. So I put these over here and I white paint on them. Now, here I've got some white paint. You can kind of see it. I didn't mix a whole lot of it. And right now, I'm using folk art matte because I don't want that shiny. I don't want it too shiny. So basically all I do, and one of the reasons I do this is because with the pill bottle, it actually does kind of make a nice little reservoir when I just need a tiny little bit of paint. And I'm just coming in and trying to keep it. I thinned it a little bit. I think I need to thin it a little bit more. It's been sitting here a little while. And I'm just coming in, and for me, I tilt things. Can you see where that little, right by my finger is? I tilt things so I can kind of get into some of the gaps. And again, I'm kind of making myself go a little slower, making sure I don't have any terrible buildup, because sometimes when you're painting, you'll get like, can you see that? And then in subsequent paint jobs, it just is not good. The nice thing about the locks is I can kind of hold the little shackle part of it and move around. And I'm making sure that I'm getting in all of those little bits right there. And it also kind of helps to seal it up as a surface, because you can still see, like right here, you're really seeing things pop through. So again, going around, and here's where sometimes I will stop and I think I need to sand that a bit. I may actually come in here with some spackle on that one, because I do not like that at all. So I guess I'm not done with spackle. I lied. Liza Minnelli lies. Sorry. Okay. And this paint dries pretty quickly. It's tacky pretty quickly. And I really do think I need to add some more water to this. It's getting a bit, I don't know how to describe it. It's like it's not flowing properly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how okay, so I've got the paint right here. I'm not going to put that in my mouth. I've only been using, this is my, see how neat and tidy that is? Woo! It's a pickle jar. For the longest time, it still smelled like pickles. Because I don't have an eyedropper, or so I just use capillary action, add a little bit of paint in there, and give it a little stir. That's better. Yeah, that's much better. And then wipe that off on my towel. Wipe that up. Man, I am so much my grandmother when it comes to working. I do not like cleaning up messes. I'm this way when I'm a baker too. I clean up as I go, because I hate having a big job of cleaning. And you can see how that flows a lot better now. And it spreads a lot easier. So it may take me another, I think I'm imagining about 3 coats total to get the brown of the carton board toned down enough. I don't see myself painting these locks any color that's too light, like that yellow. If you'll remember from the previous videos, I was having such a horrible time with that yellow. And you can also see here, let me turn this. Okay, can you see where that little, right here, right along that edge, where that border is? I'll come along here and I'll wipe some paint into it to kind of fill it up a little bit. It'll dry, and it'll dry flat. But knowing that I'm putting a number of coats on this, it will reduce the look of them. They won't be quite as apparent, if that makes any sense. I mean, you can still see this, and I can still go along and go doo, 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 doo. So that's one method that I use. Oh, there's something there. I hate it when you get like something, and again, don't do what I do, children. When there's like something in the paintbrush and I'm trying to wipe it off because I'm so impatient and I don't want to stop. I don't want to rinse out the brush. I'll just wipe it on my hand, which is not a good way to do it. Now you can also see I've got the black started in here. I'm gonna put the white paint away, and I'm just using, I don't use black paint a lot. I just don't. It's as I told my students, I think of it as a very powerful color to work with. It's very strong, and sometimes it can become overwhelming. And that's just me personally. So what I did was, I've got a couple of brushes. This is my teeny tiny, and then I used a kind of an inexpensive midline liner brush, if I can get that to focus. Liner brushes are the ones that are the long ones, which look like they're really hard to control, but they're not. So what I'm going to do, because I don't even, I use it so infrequently, I'm just using it straight out of the cap. So basically just what I did, and I'm just kind of mimicking what I did, is I came in and just carefully painted along these edges. Now you can see in here, there's still a little bit of color there that you can see. I'm trying very carefully to just kiss the surface of the eye with the paintbrush. So you can see why it would take me quite a while yesterday. And you can see that there's kind of a rounded appearance, if I can get this to focus. When you're doing anything with a liner brush, you need to make sure it's completely like, it's fueled up. God, come on, focus, there you go. Meaning I've gotten enough paint on it that you can take a long enough draw on it. There we go. So that's how and it just kissed the surface of the eye. So that's one of the things that's taken so long. Oh, there we go. Come on, baby. There we go. That's a girl. Okay. Because I knew I was going to be putting at least another coat of the black on these. And I like the way that it looks. The surface of these is going to be painted all kinds of different colors. So that is what I'm working on today. And I'm going to get the lid on this. I'm always scared that I'm going to like make a gigantic mess in here, because this is normally just what I do. And then periodically throughout the process of working on a piece, I'll open these up and see what things are looking like, and then I'll fold them a little differently, because I kind of like, I really like the abstract nature that they take. I like all these little interesting bits of reticulation, and because I'm using acrylic, it's gonna stay. I can wash this and it's still going to stay. So at some point these will be retired. I'll pull in a new piece of white fabric and begin working on some additional pieces that I would like to fabric painting. This is Katie's lazy fabric painting. Yeah, I think I need to flip this. So this is to the inside. So then now this is the outside piece that I would wipe things on. And there's a part of me that just absolutely loves how random it is. I don't know. Anywho, after I get all 5 of the locks, the white painted and the black painted, I'm going to pull out the 2 that I want to work on that are possibilities for this piece that I'm working on, the A-frame piece. And then I'll start painting those. And then you can see here I've got this solidified, the colors that I want to use here. And in the next video, I'm going to show you what I'm going to be doing with these edges and this inside portion here, because I'm terribly excited to do it. It's going to be finicky, but I'm really looking forward to doing it. And I cannot tell you how much I love the fact that these shake. They're maracas. Anywho, thank you, patrons, for sticking with me and hanging out with me while I'm working on my artwork. And I will see you in the next video.